Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry. This is our Music Minute, taking a look at our hymns that we'll be using in worship tomorrow. And we're going to start all out of order today. We're going to start with our communion hymn. That is Come and See from our new All Creation Sing hymnal supplement. And this one is a newly written one, and it's looking at the fact that the path of Christian discipleship often begins with a simple question, and that question is, what are you looking for? That comes from John 1:38. And Christ's words sung in this simple refrain are a call both to those who are singing it as well as those who hear it to come and see Jesus in all the ways that he is manifested in the church and the world. Bob Hobby, wrote this, and he was inspired to compose this song after he heard a sermon that was preached on John 1 text at St. James Church, Piccadilly on the second Sunday after Epiphany 2016. So here we are with our second Sunday after Epiphany 2024, 8 years later. And Bob Hobby was there with members of Trinity English Lutheran Church in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where he serves as the music director. And they were observing how the Church of England was addressing the changing face of Christian ministry. So we'll sing this several times tomorrow. It's pretty short, but this is Come and See. So pretty easy. You can sing along and learn something a little new tomorrow. Next we'll go to our hymn of, this is our sending hymn. This is Take My Life That I May Be. And this is a unique one. It was written in two different manners, two different styles, very different styles. It was written first with English text and more of a meditative prayer kind of setting. It was later translated into a Spanish text. The English order to the hymn does not match the Spanish order to the hymn. So even though it's a translation, they don't match. As I said before, the Spanish and the English characters are actually very different. And the original version, so the original English version, was that meditative spirit, which is asking God to take all parts, and it sort of lists the parts. So there's an order, and that order appears on a list. And in the newer version, order is not so important. So it takes us down this kind of cosmic swirl of all of the parts working or being important together. Neither's better. They complement each other. So it's fun that we get to sing both. So this is an arrangement of Take My Life That I May Be, the Spanish version. fun there. And now we're going to move to the organ for the last two. I'll tell you a little bit about the hymn of the day, Lord Speak to Us That We May Speak. And this hymn was written in April of 1872, and the author-composer, the author of the text, said that she was writing it for Women's Work, and it's presumed that that was a magazine or a newspaper at the time. It was referred to as a worker's prayer in her notes, and it was cast into the first person plural in some hymnals, including ours. It was that way in LBW, and it also is now that way in ELW. So, Lord, speak to us that we may speak, moving over to the organ. So an introspective look at Lord, speak to us that we may speak. And last but not least, we'll turn to our gathering hymn, and that is Making Their Way. This again comes from our All Creation Sing, and this is a beautiful text. It was written by Sister Dolores Duffner. It's making it clear in this text that everyone, that's everyone from all times, all places, all facets of society, everyone is called together to gather to hear God's word, offer thanks, and share in the Eucharistic feast. Sister Duffner is a prolific hymn writer. We've done some other of her hymns. She was born and raised on a farm in the Red River Valley of North Dakota, and she now is a member of St. Benedict's Monastery in St. Joseph, Minnesota. The text is set to a sturdy Dutch tune that most of us have learned in ELW with the text, "What is this place?" So I think you'll probably recognize this. This is a pretty big ending for the evening. So here we are at Making Their Way. lots of different styles for tomorrow. It'll be exciting to put them all together and make that part of our worship service. So thanks for joining this evening. If you'll be joining us in person tomorrow, worship will be here in the sanctuary at 8:30 and 11 o'clock. And the 11 o'clock service will be live streamed on our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining. We'll talk again next week.